I'm changing gears a little bit here. And you mentioned the First Nations, but I'm a pastor in this province. I've been here for a long time, and the church didn't show up for COVID. I'm embarrassed to say it. But there's, we're dealing with all the fiscal issues that of change in Alberta. It's great if we have a sovereign Alberta. So we have fiscal change, but the real issues become social issues, which we haven't talked about at all, hardly. A little bit, maybe, Tamara. But really, at the fundamental bottom of this is spiritual issues. And the bottom line is, our Constitution says that we have been based, everything in that Constitution is based on the supremacy of God and the rule of law. And I'm telling you, it's Bible supremacy of God.
Woo! Amen.
And I was a boy 40 years ago. I would say, what are we doing bringing in these other nations and flooding our country with people that don't even have the common values in place?
Amen.
And I'm very concerned about this. But I myself am looking to find other pastors and leaders that will get off their duff and quit worrying about separation in state being about separating the state from the church. It was to keep the government out of the church. And so I have some great concerns about this, because I don't hear this in our conversation very much. It's inferred a little bit. But I think until we get a momentum from our people who meet every single week in every single community in Alberta and say nothing from the pulpit about what's going on, and the reason we're in this mess is the church.
Yes, come on. It's the truth.
I'm just saying it the way it is. I believe it's the fact.
Don't hold back.
What do we do to get our spiritual leaders in our churches off their duff?
Yes.
And starting to speak about these things, because our religious freedoms are going out the door, and guys like me are going to jail.
Come on. That's good. Needs to be said. Come on. That's beautiful.
It was here that we showed our documentary on the failure of the churches, but also the pastors who stood up. Church Under Fire.
Come on.
And in that, I expressed dismay and disappointment in my own church. Our Christian church is a church soaked in the blood of martyrs.
Come on.
And yet they were more scared of Dina Hinshaw than the judgment of God during COVID.
Truth.
And a lot of people ended up in some really good churches that stood up, and I think you'll see a lot of that happen right now. I was actually just searching on my email for an email that I got from a pastor, was it you maybe? About a group of churches who are not scared to be pro-independence. A lot of churches stay out of politics, but the culture is downstream of politics, and churches should be the warriors in the culture war, and not to stay away from it and be aloof and just say this is for the politicians. Well, the culture war is fought every single day, and we all should be engaged in it. But
That's
I
good.
think Tamara might have some thoughts on this.
I did, and now I'm just completely, my mind is totally went blank. I feel really lucky because the pastor in my church in Medicine Hat is the pastor for Heights Baptist, and he was one of the only churches also that didn't close. The cops showed up. I think he might have been ticketed, but he was never arrested. But there was always that threat of arrest. So I'm really happy that, and I was raised Roman Catholic, so I went to Roman, so for me to go to a Baptist church was quite a different experience. But I absolutely loved it. And you're right. Very early on in the pandemic, I searched out doctors like Zev Zelenko, David Martin, of course Roger Hodgkinson, all these guys. And it was something that Dr. Zev Zelenko, who has since passed away, said that actually really struck with me right at the onset, and that was, this is a war against God. And I believe that to be true. And I think there is a reason why God has been taken out of our schools. When I went to school, we sang O Canada, we said the Lord's Prayer, and we sang God Save the Queen every day. And it has been taken out of and look what's happened to our society as a result. So I agree 100%. I feel, in the States, I think there's a bit of a Christian revival happening, especially after Charlie Kirk, and I think that's happening here. And I think we will see more of it because people are looking for answers. But yeah, like I said, I mean, my personal belief is that God does have our back, and He is supporting this, and it's going to take some brave pastors who aren't and ministers who aren't afraid to make some waves to tell the truth.
Yes.
Because you're right, it's absolutely preposterous that these churches just bent over and bent the knee.
I sent to one of our other crowds who sort of posed us a very similar question, and I think besides our life itself and being created in the image of Him, our greatest gift from God is our free will, our ability to choose Him, choose what's right and wrong, and we're about to exercise our free will in this referendum.
Yes. Woo!
Anybody from over here?